Hi, and welcome to Table Talks. I'm Janell, the host, and I'm sitting down with Sean Douglas. Thank you for being here. Sean
Thank
is,
you.
Sean is a U.S. Air Force retiree. Thank you for your service from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And a TEDx speaker, founder of the Success Corp, Master Reliance Implementer, intern. Did I say? Yeah, I said that right. International host of Create, Launch, and Monetize podcasts, business positioning strategist, and a best-selling author. Just, I'm sure, to scratch the surface of what you do and what you're accomplishing with people. Oh my gosh, that you are a fire bringer for people, an idea bringer for people, a door opener for young entrepreneurs, no matter what the age, but young entrepreneurs. And on this platform, there are a lot of people, Sean, who are launching their purpose work. They've spent the time, they have their different stories, their different backstories, their different healing that they've needed to do. And they're taking that and using that to fuel their vision for themselves. And they're in that, here I am, I've got my purpose work. Now what do I do? Does this sound familiar to you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So before we dive in, and I know this is your space of expertise, you have created the business. You're the founder of the Success Corp, and you have mentioned you are the host for the Create, Launch, Monetize. So what many of theirs on this platform, they're looking for that exact thing. So how exciting to have you speak to us, share some tidbits, and they get the opportunity to connect with you deeper on your website and so on. And we'll definitely share that information with them. But before we go there, a lot of us know your backstory and a lot of us don't. So would you please, because this is very important to what you do, give us the cliff notes of where did you start to get you here? Whoops.
Yeah. My my journey is a little crazy. I joined the military in 2001, right after 9/11. I've been all around the world, almost every single European country, almost every single continent, which is an absolute blessing. And I started my first business in 2004. And then I met the wife in 2006, got married in 2007. And then it was kind of all downhill, but not really downhill. Like, it's weird how things work. So 2008 was not a great year for me, deployments and everything else. And so a drinking habit was formed, and her and I were fighting all the time. So we split up, filed for divorce, all that stuff. We ended up getting back together. And then I got orders to be a drill instructor for basic training. That is where I learned how to teach, coach, speak, train, all that stuff. But before that happened, I almost didn't make it there. We were split up, and deployments got to me, and the drinking got to me. And so I decided that, I was like, this isn't worth it. It's just not. Like, this is not worth. And whoever wants to live this, like, I feel sorry for them. And so in 2008, Christmas Eve, I decided that I was going to end my life. So I grabbed a gun and I was drinking Jack. So I had a bottle of Jack Daniels in one hand, a loaded 9mm in the other, and I readied it. I readied myself and I was ready to go. Luckily, people called my phone. People showed up at my house having no idea what I was about to do to myself. And they saved me.
Hmm.
And I look back at that, and I don't think really anybody knows how close I was,
Hmm.
you know? So I found my passion in 2009, speaking, training, coaching, mentoring professionally to the airmen that would come in Air Force that were going to replace me and all my friends. And pretty soon I won't recognize the Air Force because it'll be 10 years and everybody will be gone. But those 4 years from 2009 to 2013 meant the world to me, because not only was I teaching young men and women how to be military leaders, I was stripping them of all of their civilian ness and filling it with service, integrity, excellence, and combining it with some of the things that they already do and know themselves. So them 4 years from 09 to 13 was transformational for me. But it's a 4-year tour and we have to move on.
Yeah.
And then moved to North Carolina in 2013, and then retired from the military in June of 2021, and built a whole bunch of businesses during that time. Built an antique and collectible store. We built a regular store with the regular stuff, not old antiques or old junk or whatever. I delivered my first TED Talk in 2017, delivered again in 2020, which is unfamiliar, was, virtual. And then just delivered a third TEDx talk like 3 weeks ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's been a wild ride.
it's been a crazy cool ride because you went from complete hopelessness, like you don't get lower than that. And from those ashes, you rose to like these businesses you're starting and you're on TED Talks and you're motivated, you're motivating others. What shifted that? How do you go from here, rock bottom, to killing it? Like there's a big difference in those two people, their mindset, how they feel. How did you shift that?
Behind every man is an equally solid woman.
Okay.
And in 2014, my first child was born. In 2017, our next child was born. And I think that when you get out your own way, when you are truly being selfless, and it just comes down to how bad do you want it?
Okay.
How bad do you want the life that you keep dreaming of? You can either make it happen or you can make excuses on why it didn't happen. I chose the beginning.
And you,
I want to live an extraordinary life with an extraordinary woman, with extraordinary friends and children, and meet extraordinary people at speaking engagements that I can just love on and teach them. And yeah, that's it.
why? Why do you want to do that?
That's the thing. I want to do that. I don't need to. I don't need to do any of that, but it's in my heart's desire.
When did that why fall in there? Was it always there, just screaming to be seen? When did that why drop in?
I would say 2014. I was on a deployment for most of 2013 and into 2014. So she had to do the pregnancy all by herself. I got home 4 days before the baby was born. In those 4 days that I was home, I built the nursery, went shopping, got everything needed that maybe she didn't have already, like the butt cream and, all the stuff. But she pretty much had everything. And there's no way when I saw her, I was like, there's no way that we'll ever be apart. Like there's absolutely no way.
Mm.
And distance is always good for relationships, I suppose, but I never really felt that way. I'm like just so thankful that we ended up having, kids or whatever. And it fell right into place as soon as she was born. Everything made sense. I had so much clarity. I knew what I must do. She is an amazing blessing.
So the love for somebody else and the love from somebody else catapulted you, gave you that why I can create something big.
Yep.
And in that, you talk about finding your purpose, helping people find their purpose, but you had to find your purpose first. And this was in teaching people, guiding people. Did it just make your heart happy? I mean, how did you know it was your purpose?
Oh, when doors swing open and things come easy, and it's like everything you touch turns to gold. I mean, you're not going to get 100 wins all the time, but when you wake up and you're at peace and you go do your thing, and no matter how some clients make you mad, you just smile and go, at least I got a job, or at least my business is thriving, or at least that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like, I don't even know what else you could even say other than if you're fully present and you 100% give everything of yourself, then it can't be your fault if it doesn't work out. Not necessarily saying it's all the other person, but the thing is the business, relationships, friendships, everything. Cherish everything you have now and wake up with a smiling heart that you get to have those relationships, because one day they're going to be gone.
So it's keeping those truths in front of you, because we're all going to have days we're up and we're all going to have days that, oh my gosh, I pulled myself out of bed today. But it's that determination and just knowing I got to keep these things in front of me. These are what's keeping me going. This is my why. This is
Those
what drives
spiritual reminders.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. So we're designing many of the listeners today. You guys are designing your businesses, and Sean walks with people and helps them create, launch, and monetize. Woohoo! Who doesn't like that? There we go. But you're bringing to the table, let's talk about design a category of one. First, tell us, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Design a category one and then break it down.
Category of one means there is no one else like you. You accept that, you receive that, and it plays into every single aspect of your business, every single one. Somebody might speak at the same event as me, but we're on different paths. Have to be.
We need to exclamation mark that, don't we? We need to exclamation mark that there is nobody like you.
Yeah.
There's nobody. And in the sea of speakers and whatever it is that you're doing, there's nobody like you. And people go, oh my gosh, it's like, quit looking over the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Be you. Yeah. Exclamation.
The grass is always greener where you water it.
So true. Okay. Design a
That's what I
category.
believe.
Yeah. And then once you've decided and you've accepted that, now what? What's that mean? What's that look like? I'm designing. How do I design? Because design means create. So I've accepted, John, that I am me.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I like me. Now what do I do?
Okay. You must create a problem that only you can solve. A lot of people do the same thing. They have the same service or the same business, or this person's a podcast production specialist. This other person produces podcasts. They're a podcast production specialist, And when people get together and want to buy something, they're going to get into a auction war, busy war, whatever. And maybe that person is like, no, I don't want it. Never mind, never mind, never mind. Or maybe there's someone that's like, yes, I want all of it. I want everything that this life has to offer. I want everything that this business is going to give me. I want everything. I want it all. I want it all. Right. The only difference between the two is whether one designs a category or not. Because research shows that when someone creates a whole new market category, they garner 76% of that market revenue share. Everybody else has to fight over the remaining 24%.
Okay. That's huge.
So,
and give us some examples of design. Like what would be some things that would be very specific?
Yeah.
So you think design it and you solve it. So let's give them some examples.
So my specific problem that I solve is I teach speakers how to get paid and booked.
Okay.
Anything else? I can help you create your signature talk. Cool. I can help you create a prospect list. I can help you go talk to the school principal and, maybe I'll have lunch with them or something, whatever. The fact is that people get a little scared outside the norm. So you're going to be called names like, oh my God, your business sucks. It's never going to work. I can't believe it. You're never going to work. Well, nobody asked you. That's the way I look at it. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you what you thought. And so you create a problem that only you can solve. You are uniquely qualified to solve that problem. You're, in fact, maybe hired because you are getting to that point. So when you create a problem that only you can solve, it's saying like, how can I create the best marketing I can with someone who doesn't want anything to do with me? So there's that. In business, people pay for ways to get out of their problems. So as a business owner, you should probably create the category that surrounds someone who is speeding by, not looking at anything. They don't see your board. Like, this is pointless. This is stupid. Maybe you should grab somebody out of a crowd and be like, look, read that. What does that mean to you? What is it going to do for you?
Okay. So is that why you say the no?
Hopefully that made sense.
It does. And is that why you say the no BS, no fluff?
Exactly.
Okay.
No BS. No fluff.
Because what would fluff look like? What would fluff?
Oh, you're going to be fine. Like, it's fine. It's fine. You don't have clients coming. Oh, you're amazing. And you are so good. And those are great. But some people just don't need motivational right now. They need a kick butt to say like, okay, what are we doing today to get you out of this rut? What are we doing today to make it happen for you no matter what?
Okay. And when you're speaking to, your category of one is, let's get you booked to speak. I can get you booked to speak. And there's no BS, no fluff. I can get you booked to speak. There's your category of one. Now, the fluff would
Yep.
be, it ain't your fault. Would that be fluff? Direct approach
Could
would
be. I mean,
be,
maybe they're being genuine,
yeah, okay. We can
but
get
could
you
be.
there. Okay. So you're saying the lack of BS is just really what's genuine here. In your field of practice, you're going to be number one, what is really what do you bring to the table? You bring getting good people booked to speak. Number two, I'm going to speak to you genuine here. What would be genuinely what this person needs to hear? What's really going on? What's the problem? Okay. Okay.
Yep.
And then once you've identified that, now what?
Yeah. But you
Sorry.
you have to be known for something, right? You have to be
Yeah.
known for something, and you're known by the problem that you solve. So the deeper or higher the problem is, the more hair. Think about that. All this ridiculous, all this stuff that we talk about. It's like all the clouds and all the stuff that stresses us out. We pull our hair out. We're like, oh, this business and this podcast. It's like, and it drives us crazy, right? Pretty soon, you keep up that lifestyle, you're gonna have any hair left. You're gonna pull it all out, right? So create a problem that only you can solve, and then market the problem, not the solution. People don't buy solutions on a shelf. They buy their way out of problems, and they buy results. That's all they want. They want to know that they're going to get a certain result, and they want to know how it's going to solve the problem that they are trying to solve. And once you can do that, the bigger and deeper the problem, the more money you command and the more hair you'll have.
What role does self-sabotage play for people building businesses? What do you see with lots of people? So give us some examples. What are some things people can be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing
Oh, man. People do it every day. I'm not good enough. This sucks. And then they have to rework some things like, oh, maybe I'll redo that design, or maybe I'll redo that podcast. Maybe I'll just relaunch this. It wasn't good before. Like, I'm not happy with it. Well, of course you're not happy with it, because you wrote something, created something, built something in a different time of your life. You look at that and go, that's old news. I've built that a long time ago, even if it's the same business. I built this a long time ago. I built this house or whatever, built this relationship, built this girl, daughter, son, whatever. The fact is that when you get out of your own way, amazing works happen. You have to get out of your own way. Don't throw pity parties like, oh, woe was me. Oh, this is so messed up. I don't believe it. None of that. Put the big person pants on, put the adult pants on, and be nice. Kindness goes a long way.
And that includes to yourself. Yeah.
100%. You should come first.
And don't you think, in that vein of thought, that it's perfection, whatever perfection is it's the first thing that'll stop our feet. Well, it's not good enough to go out there. It's not perfect enough. We get this picture of it's just not perfect. It's like, there, you got to let it go. Create it, let it go. Next creation, create it and let it go. Do you agree with that?
Yes, 100%.
And do you find, so I don't like to write. Some people are so good at writing. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to be with people, and I like to speak to people. I like to connect with them. It makes me happy.
Me too.
I like, so it's also seems like to me, tell me your thought on this. that it's also like, find your thing. If you're a writer, write, baby, write. If you're a
Yep.
speaker, if this is fun for you, do that, but find that mix. Don't look again over the fence and go, wow, Sean is so good when he gets on screen and he's talking on his podcast. You're doing your thing. And then you try to do that and you look at that and you go, man, I'm dropping on my head. I mean, that sounds terrible. And you don't put it out there. Well, there's other ways to bring yourself out, right? To talk and share your niche. So I just mentioned two. Is there other ways? I said talking, connecting, I said writing. What other ways can people go kind of look at and go, wow, maybe I could do it that way. Maybe I could bring myself out into the world that way.
Here's what I think. Some people should be podcasters. I think everybody needs a podcast. I still think everybody should. I think that everybody should be a business owner. I just don't think everyone should. You have to step fully into the gifts and talents that you have currently, and then be open to new ideas and new opportunities and new ways to learn new skills, because you never know when you do something that you'll fall in love with it and go, oh my gosh, I want to do this so bad. Mm-hmm. It just so happens that my stuff came into my life at a very good moment. Like, it was everything I needed in that moment. And it happened that way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And then you knew to run with it. And do you think that is a form of guidance when it just flows? I think if we're pushing on a wall that's just not moving,
absolutely.
Is that a form of guidance too?
I think as far as having a relationship or friendship or something to call your own, no matter what the pushback you get, it's like you will know. Mm-hmm. You will know if it's right for you. So become more emotionally intelligent. Your EQ should always outweigh your IQ.
Yeah.
Become emotional intelligent. Become in tune with yourself. If something doesn't feel right, then it's probably not. Go do something else. And it's okay if you're wrong. You don't know if you're wrong in the moment, but you have to be able to support yourself, the business, if you got kids or a wife or whatever, but supporting you in something you love first, supporting damage, because even damage, like traumas and everything, help us along the way. The bad stuff, the ugly stuff, like you don't want to just shy away from it. It makes you stronger. It makes you more resilient. Being grateful for the good times. Being grateful that you had an opportunity to do that. I tell my kids all the time, like, but I don't want to leave the theme park. I'm like, you should be grateful that you even got to go. And leave it at that, right? So when you're launching or whatever it is you're going to do, if you don't love it, you might as well not do it. Why ruin the brand and ruin yourself if you are not in it?
So some real self-reflection, some real connecting down into your heart and going, okay, what's my truth?
Yeah. I've had to do a lot of work on myself.
I think that's what it takes, doesn't it? I mean, if you want to go out and you want to create something from you, you better get ready to do not just the work in creating a business, but the work it takes to improve yourself, because you are where you are because of who you are. And if you're ready to be a level up or to move forward, that means you got to grow there too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do the work. Yeah. Do the work. And it's not, and it's probably Do you find it the most rewarding thing you've ever done?
That's hard. I
Okay.
was on TEDx 3 times. You think I would be a millionaire speaker? I'm not. You still have to market every single thing that you do. I think that maybe we probably could have done things like differently, or we should have went here, or we should have done this. We should, I get it. I just don't live my life that way.
Hmm.
At all. I don't live in regret. I certainly don't live in hate. I feel what I feel. I know what I know. And until someone unknowingly convinces me different, a category of one means that you are the best at what you do, whatever it is that you do. Maybe you do things differently. You both have this one disability, this one ailment, this one whatever. And nobody said, wait a minute. No, no. Emerson, which is my youngest daughter, she will there's a gate blocking the pool and like all this stuff, but she could reach her hand in underneath and knows exactly where the button is, knows exactly what to do. Like it's because it's a learned behavior. So in life, your resilience is a learned behavior. She did not give up. She kept asking and asking. I'm like, I'm not showing you. I'm not doing anything. I'm not, and she just figures it out. And Emerson is so smart. And that's what she does. She figures things out. If she doesn't find the answer, like from her parents or her sister, whatever, she will do whatever she can to make up the answer in her head. There can be nothing complete or incomplete. There cannot be anything incomplete going on because she is so intuitively like strong
Hmm.
that she's like, I want my own, for McDonald's, whatever, my own stuff. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Boom. And she did it. And I was like, oh wow. I
That's
guess she really
cool.
did do it.
Yeah. But those children are
So
not, when given the space to grow, like you've given your daughter, they are not encumbered or not weighed down with a lot of the limiting beliefs that we've collected as adults. And that creative space is really our genius space, isn't it? It's our genius space. And she's connecting to that genius in her. Man, through the eyes and life of a child, there's their brilliance. And I think that we can look back
yes.
and see where our creative genius was. For some of us, that's a good strategy to do. I know for myself, when I was a child, I was so intuitive and empathic, and I connected with animals so easily. That was a world I didn't even
Mm,
realize that's not what everybody did. That was so natural, like breathing. But then as I move forward in my adulthood,
been
I'm
there.
shutting those things down because it doesn't seem normal in the world of humans through the lens of what I was perceiving. And I shut so much of that down until I didn't, until I reached my life's journey of like rediscovering
Right.
that through tragedies. But it's going back and looking and going, oh my gosh, that was my natural. That was my creative genius. Now
Yeah.
why not bring that forward?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you see some of your creative genius in you as a child? The things you see in you now, do you see where that was?
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
How did it show
There's
up?
too many examples to not ignore.
So give us a couple. How did it show up for you as a child?
Oh boy. Okay. So it was basically in the relationships that I had with my grandfather,
Okay.
the relationships I had with, other family members, but most importantly, the people that made me feel at home.
Hmm.
It was friends that, childhood friends that I had that I, maybe still talk to today. And I knew that we were going to be best friends as soon as we met each other. And when I look out and see the landscape, I can almost see my heart. Could almost see my heart out there. But the purpose of whatever it is that you do is to serve. And so I served in church as a kid. I served in an organization. I served whenever I had a job. In every aspect of everything. I served this country for 20 years. I was an acts of service guy. If someone told me acts of, like, hey, here's what you are going to do like this weekend, or hey, can you help us with the car show? Hey, can you help us with this? Hey, can you help us? I'm like, let's do it. How can I support you? How can I serve you? How can I support you? How can, like, always, which then can get you kind of in trouble, because then like the bad people come and like ask you for help and they don't really mean it. They just want your money. So there's that. But the best way to describe it is like you did yesterday. That's the best way.
Yeah. And it comes from your heart. So when it comes from your heart, you give and you go. You move on. The rest is really up to that person. If they were takers, that's on them.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
And people, I can see why you're successful in business, because people helping others advance. And I was speaking with just a brilliant individual the other day, and they were sharing that their real mission is to help others advance. And when we apply that and individuals feel our heart to really help them, well, there we go. That creates a platform for growth. You're going to create an audience that adores and works with you when they know your heart is, hey, I'm here to work. I'm here to help you. I'm here.
Yeah. Everybody needs a person. Everyone needs a person, because you never know. You never know what someone is carrying around with them.
Yeah.
You never know what they're dealing with right now. And you never know what someone is doing about chasing or bouncing ideas off. You live for your mind. And once you've done that, then you can hit the other route. But you have to give your permission to fail during this whole process, because if you don't fail, then you did something wrong.
Oh my gosh, so true. Matter of fact, you need to fail a lot. What was the percent somebody was giving? It was high, but I wish I could remember it. It was high. Like, if you're not failing 70% of the time, you're not out there doing it right. And maybe higher, I don't know. But it's just like, get comfortable, because, or the other saying, fail forward, right? Fail forward.
Yeah.
But I think that, and you're designing a category of one. Find out who you are. Love who you are. Create that niche. Serve others. Have a heart of a servant within that niche. And build your business.
There you go. Yep. I feel that. Yeah. Yep. I totally feel that.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like that's just key. Sean, thank you so much for sharing your story with us, your wisdom with us, and just having a real conversation. It was brilliant. Love the conversation. So you brought us a free gift. You brought the listeners a free gift. We want them to be able to connect with you. The free gift is the No BS, No Fluff guide to getting booked to speak. So we're going to make that link available, and also the websites and where your podcast, you can plug into interviews that you're having with entrepreneurs and individuals of influence, and they can glean more wisdom and insight for their personal growth. So thanks for giving us those resources and for giving us your time. Love you for it. Thank you, and success to you.
Thank you. Right back at you. Thank you.
glad you were here to join our table talk with Sean Douglas. As promised here, the links for his free gift, the No Big S, the No Fluff Guide to Getting Booked to Speak. I am going to check that out myself. I think that's a great resource for many of us that are building our businesses now and reaching out there. So grab that. And also I'll put his link to the podcast and his website so you can get more information that he is bringing to the table and things that you can use to grow your business. It is important to know that you matter, as Sean brought out, that you have value and that you have a unique gift. And that's what I do. I support people in finding that unique gift. If you're like, oh my gosh, where's my gifts? How do I tap into that guiding force that we were talking about in the video? How do I tap into that intuitive side of me? And sometimes there's just some blocks that get stuck in us. How do we get them out so that I can really tap into that intuitive side of me that allows me to find and operate successfully in my purpose work? Because who wants the frustration? You don't need it, but we can help remove those blocks so that you do connect to that intuitive side of you, that truest, most purpose work that you're longing to operate in. It's possible for you. So reach out and I can support you in that way. Glad you were here. See you at the next table talk. Thank you for being here. And if you like this video and you got value from this video, hit the like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell so you get notified that the next one is live. See you at our next table talk.